Rescue Service told us a short time ago that this is the worst road traffic collision anyone can remember. The motorway has now been closed in both directions from junctions 23 to junction 26. Paul Slavin is from Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service. What is the latest that you can tell us about the accident?
The emergency services are still at the scene. We have fire crews who are continuing to damping down burning vehicles. There were a number of vehicles that caught fire as a result of the collision. At least two of those, and possibly more, were articulated lorries, obviously carrying a large amount of fuel, and there was quite a significant fire, as well as obviously crews having to release people from cars using cutting equipment. So it was an extremely difficult incident.
What information do we know about the casualties?
Well, the latest is that there may be up to 40 casualties that have been taken to hospital. So it was an extremely serious incident. Police and ambulance services also worked extremely hard to get those casualties away to the hospital as quickly as possible. But more details about casualties will be released at a later date.
You said to us a little earlier that at the time 25 to 30 casualties, now 40, 10 had life-changing injuries. Is that still the case?
That's correct, yes. We haven't confirmed exactly the extent of those injuries. Those will have to be confirmed later in the evening, but it is believed that at least 10 of the people involved have unfortunately got extremely serious injuries.
And have there been any fatalities that you're aware of so far?
The police have believed that there are many of those, sorry, not many, but several of those may be fatal. But again, obviously, we have to go through the process of informing next of kin before that can be confirmed. Absolutely.
Paul, there have been some differences in people's descriptions of the conditions on the motorway, some suggesting it was very foggy, some saying the visibility was absolutely fine. What are you hearing about that?
Well, it was certainly we've experienced very wet conditions in that area throughout the day. In fact, we had quite a serious flooding incident in Bridgewater Town Centre earlier in the day. It's Bridgewater Carnival as well, which may have increased the amount of traffic on the road at the time. So the conditions would have been difficult for a number of reasons.
Paul, any suggestions that the Army will be assisting you?
I haven't had that confirmed to me. At the moment, there are dozens of the emergency services on the scene, police, ambulance and fire. In terms of the fire input into the incident, we're still at the scene, damping down fires, but most of the casualties have now left the scene. So I haven't heard that the Army have had to be involved at this stage.
Just describe for us the scene at the moment, because as you said, it must be awash with emergency services vehicles and indeed the burnt out remains of those that were in the crash.
Yes, there's a large amount of debris covering the road. Again, a couple of the vehicles are still kind of smouldering after being on fire. A large amount of emergency vehicles. So the police have said that the road in that area is going to be closed for at least 24 hours. And possibly more, for the road to be cleared, and of course there'll be a full investigation into the cause of the incident afterwards.